What up? What up? What up? What up? What up?
Yo.
What is up?
Yep.
Everybody, welcome to the Anything for a Bit Sportscast. I am Eli Pena. He is Tyler Watts. Tyler the Watts, if you ask people in certain circles. I don't know which people you ask that say that, but I think we're going to go with
you know.
Lots of them. Lots of people that I know. Tons of them. I know lots of them. But we are back from a bye week, just like the Dallas Cowboys. Did not get a show in last week. Gotta love scheduling conflicts when it comes to, real world work situations and things like that take precedence over fun talk time.
This is all I do. Wait, this isn't your job?
Oh, no, not at all.
Oh.
I do things.
This is awkward.
Things that I do.
Thought this
Yeah, maybe I'm just not as devoted to the show as you. That's on me. I'm sorry.
Let's not even go there.
Oh, we don't want to have that conversation?
No, absolutely not. We don't need to talk about,
how I build every run sheet.
Who is more devoted?
Who may or may not fall asleep right before a show is supposed to start, so then we got to do it the next day. I know you don't have Facebook, but anybody that follows me on Facebook got the communication last night that we in fact were not going to be doing a show as I had previously commented and posted about, and due to the fact that Tyler may or may not have fallen asleep early. So I definitely Ebony, actually my little sister, she messaged me just a little bit ago and asked if you were going to be able to stay awake through the whole show. So I just sent her to be determined. We'll see. Jury's still out. I hope you do, though. It's always pleasant to have you here on board with us, riding along.
We'll see. I mean, I can't make any promises, I guess.
I don't think anybody wants to listen to your narcolepsy issues. So let's talk Cowboys versus Vikings. Coming off the bye week, like we just discussed, Week 8, you've got your 5-1 Dallas Cowboys going up against the 3-3 Minnesota Vikings. Also coming off of a bye last week. So two teams that should be pretty well rested up, ready to rock, ready to roll. Couple quick roster updates here for the Cowboys and the Vikings. And then, of course, we're going to start the show off with what everybody's been talking about since the Cowboys' overtime victory in New England last week, and that is the calf of one Rain Dakota Prescott. But quickly before we get to that, just some injury updates. You still have, even coming off the bye, DeMarcus Lawrence, Kelvin Joseph, Neville Gallimore, Tristan Hill, all still on IR, so we're still waiting for them to return. We did get Michael Gallup off of IR during the bye week, and he's been in practice this week. Reports that you're hearing on that, seems like he's mixing it in a little bit, but maybe is still not a full 100% go. So I haven't seen for sure if they're going to call him active this week. I think he's still listed as questionable. And even if he does play, I would venture to say that he probably splits quite a bit of time with Cedric Wilson and Noah Brown. Maybe he gets, 15 to 20 snaps, something like that this week. So good to see Gallup back in practice, recovering from that calf, and hopefully gets on the field to mix it up a little bit this week. And then we got him full go next week. One other quick roster note, Lyle Collins is back from his 5-game suspension. So this will be his first week on the active roster since week 1. We'll get a little bit more into what that means or may not mean to the Dallas offense going forward. On the Viking side, pretty healthy, pretty nice bill of health there. You're missing Patrick Peterson and Michael Pierce. So a little bit thinner in the secondary there, which, of course, bodes well for the dynamic weapons that we've got out here in Dallas. And then Michael Pierce, old run defender for Baltimore, been in Minnesota the last couple years. That's a big DT in the middle that, may assist that run game and, really help boost the trenches there.
What run game?
The Dallas Cowboys run game.
Oh, okay. Because they don't. Okay, my bad.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
The Dallas Cowboys.
All right.
Yeah, that one. But what we got to talk about today, and this really is the story. Of course, we'll have some other things that we discuss, but the story of the day, the story of the week, the story of the last 10 days or so is that Dak Prescott suffered a calf strain on the final play of the game against the Patriots. That overtime touchdown pass to CeeDee Lamb, which was a beaut, kind of came down on that leg a little bit wrong, was limping out of the stadium a little bit, in a protective walking boot for a day or two. The team overall has really, for the most part, kind of downplayed the situation. It hasn't seemed like a super major deal. Dak said that night that he would have kept playing if he needed to, if the game didn't end there. It's been pretty positive for the most part. But as we've gotten along, man, over the last few days, you're just kind of starting to hear more and more. Still nothing definitive, but just a lot of, we're going to see how it feels on that day. And Dak in one of his pressers a couple of days ago talking about, well, it's not really up to me, right? It's not a Dak decision. So I don't know, man. Where are you at? What are you thinking? What are you feeling when it comes to are we going to see Dak on Sunday, or what are your thoughts on that? And what does that mean for this team?
Yeah, coming out of the game, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, he'll be fine. It's just Castro. He'll be fine." For Vikings, and that, of course, was all premature because no one had examined anything yet and saw recovery. Right? We just
right. He's
like,
totally
"Oh yeah,
fine.
Dak's gonna play."
Right.
And then what was that, Wednesday, when the Vegas line shifted?
I think that's right. Wednesday night,
Yeah.
Thursday morning.
So, I mean, big giveaway there, right? There's only a couple things that move the line that far in Vegas. And then you started to hear kind of the narrative or the line or the story change around it, right? Where like it's not a big deal, but maybe we just missed one game, and what's
Right.
one game to the rest of the season.
Right.
And once I started to hear that, then my sentiment started to change about, okay, he's probably gonna miss this game. Unless there was just something that came back, during this week while he was working out, where they were like, oh man, he went full go and there's no soreness and no tightness and no this and no that. He's probably right where he needs to be with a calf strain, right? In the grand scheme of things, he's going to be hurt for a couple weeks or at most, right? And then be, good to go. It doesn't bode well for the team. And I mean that as no disrespect to like how great, the roster's been compiled and how everything's gelling this year. I think Dak's the MVP. If he's not playing, then this team is drastically different. Okay.
Then you don't have the MVP, right?
Right. So I'm not I'm not trying to, no disrespect Cooper Rush or Will Greer or, Eli Pena, who's ever the fourth string quarterback. I don't know.
Got this.
Doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter who goes in there. You're not. I think Dak is one.
I think I could throw at least one touchdown to CeeDee Lamb.
Okay,
it might be the only pass that I complete, right? Like I may go like 1 of 34 or something like that. But me and CD, yeah. As long as Biotish can get me the ball, right? If anything, it's going to be a bad snap because Biotish can't get it to me right.
Yeah, that's what I imagine too.
Yeah, as long as he can put that thing where it needs to go, I'm gonna put it where it needs to go.
Honestly, you'd probably be on the team right now if Biotish wasn't there.
I mean, it certainly would make my life a lot easier as a young, hot, and upcoming quarterback in the league. If I had a center that could get me the ball.
Yeah. The MVP is not going to play, right? So I don't.
Damn, you're real definitive on this. You really don't like. You're like what percentage are you at playing versus not playing right now?
From what I read, even before we came on. Right, I'm reading from ESPN just a couple hours ago.
Yeah, he's questionable. He's a game time decision.
And then
don't put him in your fantasy lineups.
Right, and on Twitter and some of these other sites, when I'm looking at the news results, everything's talking about like, yeah, he's good, right, but he's sore, right, and this was kind of the argument for him not playing. If he goes out there and does what he does, right, MVP stuff, he's going to be dragging that injury, through the rest of the season. He's just never going to get time to heal, properly. And at some point, right, when you're playing on something stress like that, KD comes to mind. I know we were talking about that, when he tried to play with a calf strain and then goes down with the Achilles.
Yep. Tried to come back too soon.
You don't want to put too much on that. And again, I think the reason that the story is out there that way is because if they thought the strain was something that he was going to have to play with the rest of the season, no matter what, then I think they would go ahead and, let him, and let's just try to manage it. Right. But they must feel like if it heals a decent amount and he doesn't stress it, that he will get to a point where it's not any more susceptible to injury than he is playing football anyway.
Sure.
That's at least how I'm interpreting it.
So you're like 85-15, 90-10 that he's not
I'm like 95% sure.
Oh, wow.
Unless they are just completely, hamming it up with us in the media, and then he just comes out and, is like, nah, I'm fine. Ha, whatever. But I really don't think that's
okay. I don't think I'm quite there yet.
Bro,
it has it. I know, but just to be fair, right? On Sunday night, when they played the Patriots, or was that Monday? Whatever night they played the Patriots.
Yeah.
I was like 92% sure he was going to play. Right. And then the week kind of progresses and I'm like 70-30 he's going to play. And then we get into this week and I'm like 60-40 he's going to play.
Okay.
And then to your point, the Vegas line moves, right? And I'm not a big gambler by any means, but I do pay attention to the odds and the Vegas line.
You know what that means, right?
Right, because to your point, Vegas doesn't get that stuff wrong very often.
No.
So when you see, Wednesday night when you go to bed, the Cowboys are 2.5-point favorites on the road, right? Which, in Vegas odd terms, usually the home team gets about a 3-point bump, right?
Yeah.
So really you're saying if the Cowboys were playing at home, we probably project them to win by 5 or 6 points. They're going to win by a touchdown. So they're 2.5-point favorites on the road. And then you wake up Thursday morning and now they're 2.5-point dogs on the road. Right. So you got a full 5-point swing. Vegas just doesn't move the line like that. So then, now I'm like 60-40 the other way. Like, okay, maybe Dak's not going to play.
Not going to play.
I think right now I'm probably more in like a 70-30-ish range because, you are still seeing a lot of reports of like, I gave it everything and I felt good. He did say, Friday, McCarthy said there was a little bit of soreness Friday after he went full bore on that Thursday practice.
Right.
So we'll see. I don't think that it is really of consequence when it comes to the divisional race, right? You look at the standings through 7 weeks, we've got 3 games in the win column on everybody and 4 games in the loss column on everybody.
Yeah.
So you got a 3.5 game lead on everybody else in the division 7 weeks into the season. I think the division is basically in hand at this point, unless something catastrophic were to happen, right? So I think then the question turns there more, when you're talking about how healthy he is or if he can go or if he should go is, there's a couple things there, right? First of all, I think to Dak's point in his interview a couple days ago, this is not and should not be a Dak Prescott decision, right? It shouldn't be a Mike McCarthy decision. It shouldn't be a Jerry Jones decision. This really needs to be a medical staff decision, right? If my medical staff comes to me and says, hey, he can play this week, but there's a 25% chance that he's going to re-injure or make it worse. If we sit him this week and let him play next week, it's basically just like any player aggravating or getting a new injury, right? There's whatever percentage that is, that's what it would be, right? There's a 5% chance that he's going to get hurt. I think I still probably want to sit him this week, right? I think I'm still in line with that, but I think the other thing that, you have to consider, if he is, if my medical staff comes to me and says, look, he should be fine, right? Like there's minimal risk, right? 10 or 15% chance of re-injury, but that's unless something freaky happens, he should be fine. I may have the division in hand, but what I don't have is the bye week in hand, right? I've got Arizona with 1 loss. I've got Green Bay with 1 loss. I've got Tampa Bay with 1 loss. And there are 2 byes in a conference, right? So while dropping one game to the Vikings is not going to affect you in the divisional race, there's about a 99% chance that that's a true statement. That one game may affect you when it comes to the overall conference race. And when you just look historically, I mean, outside of Tampa Bay last year, 1 and 2 seeds are the only seeds that really make the Super Bowl. Right? You don't get to the final game if you have to play every game in the majority of cases.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's some interesting things to weigh there. Ultimately, I want my guy to be healthy, right? If there's a chance that he's going to get hurt this week, sit him. And if that means that, we miss out on a bye by one game, but I've got Dak 100% healthy going into the playoffs, fine. Bring on wild card weekend. Because to your point, I've got, an MVP candidate quarterback. He's healthy. My team's probably rocking and rolling still at that point. And I think I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I just, I want everything, right? The other thing that hurts my heart just a little bit is that there's a pretty decent chance that Dak misses this game, and that effectively takes him out of the MVP race. It's only one missed game, so if he has a great remainder of the season, he could still be in that running. But I just think that's going to be hard with some of these other guys that are out there right now, some of these other people playing. Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, Justin Herbert, all these guys, right? If they're going to play a full 17, he plays 16. I don't know, man. Individual awards aren't the goal, though. So, again, ultimate goal is the Super Bowl, but we will see. What do you, how do you feel about our chances with Cooper Rush at the quarterback, though? What does that look like to you?
It looks like a loss.
Oh, no.
I mean,
oh, no.
He's not
you don't believe in Cooper?
Nobody's begging for Cooper Rush to get reps.
He's been in the system for so long, and just the way that he can work the offense because he knows our scheme and our plays, and you're not buying it. I should just stop.
Yeah, man. It's not even. I don't know if it's worth a bunch of.
I don't even think I can make a convincing argument.
Sure,
honestly, I don't think I can.
Not even worth a detailed opinion. Cooper Rush is like, okay. I mean, again,
he's probably bottom half in the league if you look at backup quarterbacks.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, he's just a guy, right?
Probably like the 23rd best backup quarterback in the league.
I'm not even trying to, disparage him or nothing. He's just a guy. So
and he's not an MVP candidate, right?
Yeah,
when you're talking about the most. He's not even a starting quarterback, right? But the point, if we're talking about the most important position in all of organized sports, right? The drop off from MVP caliber at the most important position to he might be the 40th best player at his position or 50th best player at his position, 60th best player at his position.
If Sam Darnold was our starting quarterback and he got a calf strain, and then Cooper Rush came in and we were successful with Sam Darnold, I'd be like, all right, maybe, right? Because we're gonna get a comp. Is there a drop off? Yeah, but not a drastic drop off. We're talking about the handful, the cream of the crop of quarterback play,
right?
And the drop off to anyone. It's not even Cooper Rush, but I mean the fact that it is him. Nah, we're not gonna. We're not gonna win because of him. It would be a host of other things that would have to happen, right? The Vikings offense would have to implode. Kirk Cousins would have to turn the ball over, which is something he's not doing this year.
Mm-hmm.
They would have to get a litany of penalties. Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen would have to forget how to run routes and catch the ball, right? And then their defense would have to just, be the same, but they would have to give up, a ridiculous amount of, rushing yards and be completely undisciplined on play action or the shots that we did take. That's just not their, anything can happen, but that's not going to happen. Cooper Rush will go out there, he may manufacture
any given Sunday, but not this one.
Sure, he may get 14 to 17 points, with the offense. But because of the amount of time that they will have to put the defense back on the field and the situations they'll be put in, nah, man, it'll get ugly. Kirk Cousins and then we'll take care of business because it's not a bad team. We're not playing a bad team.
No. No, it's a decently constructed roster. And I think the one piece of the one ray of hope that we might be able to find in all of this could be Kellen Moore, right? Because I mean, you have seen it before with backup quarterbacks or just bad quarterbacks, right?
Sure.
Where teams, I mean, to your point, like Sam Darnold performing in Carolina, a lot of that is scheme, right? And they don't have near the talent that we have.
Right.
So if Kellen Moore can find a way to probably basically keep him in shotgun all day, right? And we can get some decent protection, which we have done year to date, when it comes to pass protection for the most part. If we can get some quick, little slip screens, get it on the perimeter, get it to Pollard in space, right? Maybe we can lean on Zeke and Pollard more in the run game. It could.
I'm just writing down your wish list for Santa.
Right. All the ifs, please.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
please. Go ahead.
I'm just saying that crazier things have happened, right? I'm not gonna take a strong stance on it because I think if Cooper Rush plays, we probably lose by 2 scores.
Okay.
But Kellen Moore's a really good offensive coordinator, man. And he gets a lot of credit for what this offense has done this year. And all those weapons are still there. Now, am I saying that they're going to go and drop 40 points? No. But to your point, if some things bounce their way, could the Cowboys win like a 24-21 ugly ass Sunday night game? Yeah, they could. Will they? No, they could. All right, you don't want to talk about Cooper Rush anymore. So what we are going to do is do whatever Tyler wants to do, since we've already established that he is the heart and soul of this show, and it doesn't go without him. We thank you for all the work that you put in. So
yeah, appreciate you.
I'm just going to go ahead and flip it to you and give you your segment. So we're going to roll right into Trench Talk with Watts. Yeah. We kind of highlighted a little bit right at the top there that Lyle Collins is back from suspension this week. So I want to start there. What does that mean for this offense? Do I finally get to stop talking about Terrence Steele every week?
No. Oh. Matter of fact, Terrence Steele is still my bad. Terrence Steele is still the starting right tackle this week. Okay. And it was basically a foregone conclusion, right? That, Lyle, as soon as he gets back, right, we don't plug that boy right back in, right? Terrence Steele is still the starting right tackle. That's been affirmed. And to make it even more interesting, Lyle Collins has been taking snaps at guard during the week. Okay, so
and he played he played left guard, I think 2016 or 2017.
Yeah, sometime in college, yeah.
Well, no, he played with the Cowboys. His first year or two, he was at left guard before they slid him to right tackle.
Right. That's right.
So I mean, he has played guard in the NFL before, but it's been 4 years.
That was a minute ago.
So it's been a while.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know that it means anything, right?
I say, is this just like a 1 week thing? You think, like, is this we're gonna slap Lyle on the wrist and wag a finger at him, and you just can't walk in and get your job back, buddy?
Listen,
and we're gonna see him next week or what? They're like, hey, Dak's not playing anyway, so let's prove a point. If Cooper Rush, gets his fibula shattered, that's cool, right? And then we'll just put Lyle in next week.
Okay. First of all, you added in a lot of things there.
You don't think that they're planning to get Cooper Rush's fibula shattered this week? Okay, all right. I'm just trying to draw up, a war room conversation. I don't know what coaches talk about.
I did listen to quite a few broadcasts, read quite a few tweet stories about specifically Lyle, right, and how the organization was treating him coming back. And that's kind of the consensus right now, right? Is that it's different. And I heard them say this. It's different when you get injured, right? You get injured, no one holds it against you. They're like, as soon as you come back, thanks, appreciate you working back your way back to the team.
Unless you're Tony Romo, right?
Right. But
didn't that happen to Joe Montana too?
Lyle,
isn't that when Steve Young took over? Montana got hurt.
Yeah,
I think that's right.
But Lyle has had self-imposed reasons for being off the field.
And this isn't the first time either.
No. And I mean, when you really look at it, so he played week 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
But out of the last full season and then 6 games of this year, well, 7 now, right? You've been available for 1, bro.
Right.
So, is there a little,
And last year was self-imposed too, right? He did
Correct.
have the hip injury, but the reports coming into camp were that he wasn't in shape.
Right.
It was the COVID season. Things were a little bit weird in the offseason. Are we going to play? Are we not going to play?
Yeah.
And according to everybody's reports, he just didn't come ready to play. And then he got himself hurt and was shut down for the year.
Right.
So a lot of it has been self-imposed. So
there's, to answer, that question with a little bit of background. Yeah, I think the organization is trying to show him, like, look, man, your talent is not questioned. We know that you're better. Now, the Cowboys are certainly not mad that Terrence Steele is progressing, but that was always the idea, right? The only thing that's different is that he had to play because Lyle made himself unavailable, right? He was they always wanted Terrence Steele to progress. We're just having to watch it this year, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, he's gonna get his.
Well, you think like a week or two, he's gonna get his job back, probably?
Yeah, because I don't know how hard they're actually gonna push to make him play guard or anything like that.
Yeah, I can't imagine that they believe that Terrence Steele is better at his job than Connor Williams is at his job.
Right. Exactly.
Right. And I know that they don't believe that Terrence Steele is better at his job than Lyle Collins is better at his job. So your best 5 still has to be Lyle at the right tackle and Connor at the left guard. And don't think that money doesn't play into this either, because Lyle has a tackle contract. He does not have a guard contract. You don't pay guards like you do tackles. They are not taking that salary and moving him back inside. It's not going to happen.
And then pay another tackle
contract?
It's
not going to happen, man. No way. It's way too much money. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, just a couple weeks, and again, Steele will get a, attaboy. He comes out of this looking golden, right?
Hey, yeah, I mean, and he looks like a good swing tackle that can be a capable starter.
Exactly.
Good on him.
Exactly. So no, I think his wins all the way around. Lyle comes back healthy, but you gotta earn the respect of your guys back at the organization. You gotta, put in a little bit and put your hat in your hand and do what you need to do to earn your spot back. And I think this is just, a little bit of that for him. But the Cowboys will have their work cut out for them this week. They are going against a very formidable front 4 from the Vikings.
Yeah.
Very formidable.
They can mess some stuff up.
You mentioned Michael Pierce is out. Dalvin Tomlinson's going to be inside. Everson Griffin is there playing.
Man, how
well.
did he turn back into a good football player?
It's just it's something about the purple.
I just think Nolan was that bad of a coach, right? We're all sitting here like Everson Griffin can't play. He's old. He's washed. He's trash.
That's true.
Because going into the season, everybody was happy that we got Griffin, right? You saw his tape from the year before. He looked good, and then he was just trash. He goes back to the Vikings, and all of a sudden he's a good player again.
He's a good player, yeah.
Maybe we just have bad coaches.
So yeah, and then there, with Pierce being out, Armand Watts will have to step in. Younger guy, has been playing decently for them. Listen to, I think his name was Ben Lieber, talk about their front 4. And they do really well generating pass rush. I look at some of the stats. We talked about it. They're right up there in pressures, but they they are the top in pressures and hurrying your quarterback. Okay. But they do not blitz. Okay? It is just those 4 guys.
4-man rush.
Okay. They're going to have their hands full. That is, not to drag Cooper Rush's corpse from under the bus again, but that is another reason why I don't feel good, because they're going to make you, the Vikings are going to make you throw into these tight windows anyway, right? I want a highly accurate, anticipating quarterback, to beat that defense. Someone get that ball out quick. It's just not going to happen with the backup. But again, I'll put his body back under the tires now. The thing that holds back the Minnesota defense from being one of the better defenses in the league, though, is that front. I'll include the linebackers with this part. They give up the run. You can run to the tune of about 5 yards a carry on them. So there is a decent chance you could just
see. That's what I'm talking. Cooper Rush is going to throw the ball 17 times, and we are going to win 24-21. Mark it. I'm changing my prediction. We'll get that to the end, but just
got it.
Changing it. Cowboys win.
So now
the party, baby.
So now it becomes a not to give any validity to what you're saying, but it does become a game of how much do you run and how well do they play the run, because you got to know that they went into the bye week understanding that was something they needed to address on that side of the ball. They're going to take pride in defense there. So they're going to come out and know, hey, the Cowboys got 2 running backs. Their quarterback is hurt. They are going to run at us. I think they're going to be up for the challenge. The question is, will they, actually do something? And again, the MVP is not there on the other side of the ball to threaten you with his arm. I just think they will tighten up against the run. So that's going to be, when you talk about trench talk this week, will the Cowboys be bad? God, what year was that? Like 2017-ish, something like that, where it's like, hey, we gonna put 10 in the box. We're still gonna run the ball. It's whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just
like pick pretty much any year that Jason Garrett was the head coach.
Yeah, but the year that it was working though, that's gonna be that could be what this game turns into.
I hope that the run game goes.
It would be interesting to see if they trust, because I believe Rush will play. It would be interesting to see if Kellen trusts him enough to try to exploit some of those heavy run looks and go with the play action or go with the shot plays, right off the top, just to see. So, that would be.
I just want to see if I can get. Can I get CD one-on-one on the screen outside?
They're gonna get one-on-one.
Right. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, they're gonna get one-on-one.
Split out Tony Pollard one side, split out CD. Let them go one-on-one and give them the little screen. Let them work in space. See if they can beat their man. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I hope
that's what I'd be looking for.
If
Cooper Rush is there,
I just wonder if it's that.
I'm trying to make it believable, Tyler.
Oh, okay. I won't challenge you. I'll just back up. Okay,
I'm trying.
Okay.
Trying to bleed some optimism into the broadcast, sir.
Okay. It's delusion when you drink it in that flavor, but it's okay.
This is water, sir.
Okay, bet. But yeah, that's all I got on the trench talk today.
Also, Darth Vader and a stormtrooper.
Oh my goodness. Be a good matchup there, but really gonna see what the run game looks like, and that will kind of dictate what happens with the rest of the game.
Yeah.
On the Cowboys side of the ball.
For sure.
Yeah, man. That the Vikings, they kind of living off reputation a little bit too. They were good for a while, kind of fell off, coming back. Dallas's defense trying to separate from reputation. They were terrible, playing really well, but there's some chatter. We hear it. And the Cowboys are one of the most hated on teams, franchises, groups in the world. And there's one of the many storylines this year is that the defense is a fraud, right? Like we're going to give it, the only reason we are even, remotely close to being a good team is because of these turnovers. That's going to dry up. Y'all are washed. Everyone's going to be able to score on you, this, that, and the other. What is the Dallas defense going to look like against Kirk Cousins and this Vikings offense?
Man, first off, because you just made me think of something. Did you see the I think it was on NFL.com. One of the writers posted an article about this. Did you see the comparison that was made from Trayvon Diggs to an NFL quarterback. Because they said Trayvon Diggs is this guy of corners.
I
that?
did. Who did they compare him to though?
Jameis.
Jameis.
They said my guy Trayvon is Jameis?
Yeah, they said he's Jameis, bro.
Look,
first of all,
Trayvon will give up some catches, but he can't be Jameis because the comparison is Jameis throws as many touchdowns as he throws interceptions, right? Diggs has not given up 7 touchdowns this year. Right. It's not the same. He's not giving up scores. Teams are not scoring on him. Wide receivers are not scoring on him. He has scored more touchdowns this year than have been scored on him. And he has 7 interceptions.
I just
put some respect on my man's name.
What are you?
Put some respect on it, bro.
Guys, I'm asking for everyone.
Everybody wants clicks, bro. See, we're even talking about it now. Article did its job. Good job, NFL writers.
I mean, it is impossible to just not give up a catch. Like you're just never gonna give up a catch. You're just never gonna give up any yards.
He's doing something that nobody has done in decades.
Yeah, but he's not.
Like nobody.
Yeah, but
nobody.
Not. Yeah, but he's not.
Yeah, he's not. You're right. He's not them because nobody has done what he has done. Nobody.
Yeah.
Back on topic.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Topic, you got it out. You got it out.
You made me think of that, and I just thought that was.
I did.
Because I even heard people like talking about it on the radio, different broadcasts that I listen to. And some people are lending credence to it. Like, oh, yeah. It's like, no, it's not equal, bro.
It's not even.
He is not giving up as much as he is taking away. He's not.
He's not. You don't
get
any points for yards.
Overall, the Dallas defense versus Viking offense. I think it's going to be an interesting matchup, right? There's a lot of pieces on this Vikings offense that, you probably could look at it and say that this could be a situation that puts the Cowboys potentially in the most trouble they've been in since week 1 against Tampa Bay from a defensive standpoint.
I feel that. That's what I think about when I see the personnel. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Now, the offensive line is not great. So if we can get the pass rush there,
average. Yeah.
Right. Tampa Bay's offensive line is better. So if we can get some pressure, we got a chance, right? We got a chance to disrupt this offense a little bit.
How quick does that pressure have to get there with Kirk Cousins?
I mean, pretty much any time now, you got to get there in 2.5 seconds or less. It doesn't really matter who you're playing. But along those lines,
Justin Fields has entered the chat.
Well, yeah, fair enough. Give my man some time. Justin Fields going to be just fine.
Hey, he is. My bad.
But to that point though, when you look at at pressures and time to beat your block, Randy Gregory's like top 5 in the league right now.
Yeah,
he is beating his block in 2.5 seconds. He is. So it's there, right? This offensive line is beatable. Randy Gregory rushing, Micah Parsons when he's able to rush, Golston, Osa up the middle, right?
Osa, this is a game where I think Osa maybe comes back a little stronger. He
get some disruption in the middle there.
Yeah, because he was a little.
New England quiet the last couple games.
Yeah, New England.
Micah was a little quiet last game,
Right.
I mean, even though he had like 6 solo tackles and 5 assists or something like that. Quiet game for Micah.
I heard, so when I was listening to Vikings sideline reporter, he mentioned that they think that Leighton and Micah are dangerous if moving towards the ball, going downhill. But if they're put off ball, they think they're pretty average linebackers in space.
That's about right. I think Micah is more just learning to play in space, and Leighton just can't.
What do you think about they mentioned specifically about attacking those guys in play action during that? What do you
I could definitely see it. Now I will say I think Micah's athleticism, go for it. Right? Because I mean you could have beat him a few times. but he only needs to beat you once.
Yeah, I was about to
Right,
say,
he only needs to force one
give him a
fumble,
chance.
intercept one pass, deflected
Mhm.
into Trayvon's arms or whatever. He only needed to do it one time. So,
Mhm.
yeah, you may
Mhm.
get it on him, but he's gonna, Leighton, yeah. I mean, I don't think Leighton's gonna, take back what you give to him, right? But, I would hope that if that begins to kind of be a trend, that you see some adjustments, and maybe this is the week that I personally have been asking for, and I finally get my Jabril Cox breakout party, right? Coming off a bye week, get more time to work into the scheme. And maybe it turns into something where the Cowboys look at it, and my personal preference would be put Randy at the right end, put Micah at the left end, put Cox, Neal, and Van Der Esch. That's your linebacker rotation. And Jaron Curse, right? I want those
Mhm.
four guys.
Mhm.
Because I feel much better with Neal in pass coverage. I feel better with Cox in pass coverage. I feel better with Curse in pass coverage.
Right.
Right. So if that's a trend that we're starting to see, then yeah, man, just let Micah go rush the passer and put Cox and Neal back there, put Curse back there. And go ahead, run that route across the middle. You're still gonna get some, but not like you're gonna get on Leighton, right? Um, so yeah, I mean that's kind of what I would hope some of those adjustments might look like if that situation comes up to it.
Mhm.
But I do think, I mean, regardless, this defense has their hands full, right? Kirk Cousins, for all everybody wants to ever say about him, I know he's the NFL punchline, because he says you like that. And it's funny. It is. I do it too. You like that? Um,
About to say
He's
if you
completing
like that.
70% of his passes this year. He's got 13 touchdowns, 2 picks. He's not turning the ball over. He's accurate. He's getting it out quickly. He's getting it to his playmakers, right? Of course, you've got Dalvin Cook in the backfield, who's a monster when he's healthy. And even when he's not, Madison, the backup, has like 200-yard games this year with Dalvin Cook on the bench. So that run game can definitely be a problem, something that the Cowboys have been susceptible to in the past
Yep.
and this season.
Yep.
And then that wide receiver group, that's really where I'm looking at it. And I'm saying, man, this may be the best wide receiver group that we've played since Tampa, right? And I think you're probably going to see a lot of Diggs and Jefferson, which
Yeah.
should be fun because Justin Jefferson is going to go 7 for 81, and Trayvon Diggs is going to have an interception and 2 bat downs. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch that because they both going to get theirs. I think so.
Yeah.
But the real piece to watch is going to be Anthony Brown versus Adam Thielen because, everybody right now is so focused on Justin Jefferson and how electric he is, and deservedly so. But if you look at them side by side, it's almost identical numbers between Thielen and Jefferson this year. It is not like, Jefferson is getting 30% of, the
Thielen
yard
just been
share.
doing it.
Right. Thielen's just been doing it
He's
forever.
just been doing it.
Um, I will say Anthony Brown, since that first game, he's actually played a lot better. I don't put a whole lot of stock in Pro Football Focus grades, but he is a top 10 corner according to Pro Football Focus this year right now. I know, right? But he's played a lot better since that first game.
Just feels weird when you say it.
Right. But I am, man. I think part of that has just been that they haven't had a receiving core like they had against Tampa.
Yeah. He
I
hasn't
think
played,
I
yeah.
think this is going to be a big Thielen game. I think this is going to be another game where potentially we're talking about Anthony Brown as our defensive loser, right? So we'll see how that goes. I definitely think the defense has their hand full. Before we get into win, lose, and predictions, I had one more discussion topic that I wanted to bring up, and I love these player comparisons, right? Especially when it's the young guys. I like to do my rookie watch. This guy versus this guy. This one's not quite a rookie watch, but CeeDee Lamb versus Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
If you got one guy and whatever, put him into Dallas's offense, whatever. If you plug Justin Jefferson in versus CeeDee Lamb, who you want? Who are you taking?
Justin's so icy though. See, I think I'm gonna go CD.
I think I'm gonna take Jefferson.
I don't think they ask Jefferson to do some of the things CD gets to do here. I don't think that means that he can't. CD is just wrong, bro.
He is.
There's something about CD. CD has like a a Devin Hester type, a
That's
Darren
what I say. If you're
Sproles
talking
type
about put him in
electricity.
space, a catch and run situation, right? Looking
Exactly.
for the yak yards. I do think CD is that guy. Man, Jefferson that dude just glides across the field though, man.
I ain't mad. Listen, this is not a decision I want to make. You making me, but CD feels like this is no disrespect to Justin. I mean,
It
he's
sounds like
gonna
you're
be great.
disrespecting him.
I mean, CD is it's like the evolution of the skill positions, right?
Man,
Like,
CD's really good.
if he's a wide receiver, he can be a wide receiver 1, right? He's playing your slot receiver like nobody's going to cover him. He's coming out of the backfield like he's just as electric. You hand him the ball, you can put him in the punt return, kick return. He just got that quality. It's like when he has the ball, there is a chance that if you take your eyes off the screen for a second, you might miss his little move that's going to take, you can let him run past everybody.
All right, I'm gonna cheat and play the fence on my own question
Oh my
because
God.
I get to do
Why?
that. Because I
You
get to do
don't get
that.
to do that.
I do get to do that. It's my question.
Okay.
It's my segment. Do what I want. So, if I'm talking about the Cowboys, give me CD Lamb because of the construction of the weapons and the roster around him, right?
Oh God.
If
Okay,
I'm just
yeah.
talking about like one guy versus one guy, I think I want Justin Jefferson because I haven't seen CD. Like, I don't know that he can play the X yet, not at an elite level. He can play the Z where he can get off space. He plays the slot really well, right? I don't know that he could play the X at the level that we could see Justin Jefferson at the X. I don't know that I'm ready to say that yet. I think Justin Jefferson is better initially. I think he's better when it comes to getting separation. I think CD's better with the ball in his hands. So given the Cowboys construction, I have an Amari Cooper, right? I have a Michael Gallup. But if it was just 1v1, I think if I'm just matching up, man up on somebody, I think Jefferson's my guy. I think so.
Yeah.
But I'm going to cheat. So
There you go. There you go.
Wonderful time to make another great transition to a new segment.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. I didn't have one, so I just input that in there.
Wow.
Right? Solid. So let's do some Cowboys win, lose if. Let's get some predictions, and then let's get out of here.
Win, lose. I think I already did that.
So I'm going to cheat on this one too, because the Cowboys win. The rules. Well, Cowboys win if Dak plays. They lose if Cooper Rush plays.
You're not playing.
Okay, so Cowboys win if Dak plays. They lose if Cooper Rush plays. And if you want me to just if you want me to just assume that Cooper Rush is going to play, which is completely unsubstantiated, by the way, and we try to report facts on this broadcast, then I will switch it to the Cowboys win if Kellen Moore is truly the scheme god, and they lose if Cooper Rush really is trash. What does your win-lose look like this week, Tyler?
The Cowboys are going to lose because the MVP is not playing.
Okay, give me your prediction then, since you don't want to play along. You're like
that is the prediction.
What's the score?
You want to score? Oh, okay. Score.
We do this segment every week. You know the rules.
27-16 Vikings.
Okay. I think I'm pretty close there with you. I'm still holding out hope, though, so I'm going to give two predictions because I can do what I want. So if Dak plays, I've got 34-27 Cowboys. So I think a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be hard to slow that offense down, but I think the Cowboys get it done. Without Dak, so this will be my official prediction for, Tyler and all you other naysayers out here who think I can't do what I want on my own station.
You can just travel to the alternate universe where Dak
do whatever I
want.
I can do whatever I want.
Okay,
it's my own station. It's my station.
Shit,
my channel. 33-17 Vikings. If and when Cooper Rush plays tomorrow night, 33-17 Vikings. It's not going to be close. Rush is not going to be able to do all the things that I just spent the last 40 minutes talking about that he could possibly do. And the Vikings are going to roll the Cowboys. And not so much because they're going to overly exploit the defense. I mean, I do think it's going to be challenging, but I think more so it's just going to be that the offense can't take any pressure off, right?
Right.
It's going to be a lot of 3-and-outs, a lot of punts, a lot of short fields.
Yep.
And I just don't see the Dallas defense holding up to that. So, yeah, we'll go 33-17 Vikings. Hopefully you are wrong and my optimism rings true and Dak plays, and then we can celebrate a win here in a couple days. But probably not, and that's okay because we're still going to win the division. It's a really depressing end of the show because you won't let me do what I want. So
you did everything you wanted. I just didn't believe in it.
I hope you're happy. So
feel great.
All right, you got anything else for the piece before we get out of here? I'm done talking.
Yeah, stay rooted in realism, guys.
I'm gonna holler at y'all later, peeps.